Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and today I'm going to be doing your weekly horoscopes for April 13th through the 19th, 2020. I'm going to start off with my fire signs. So this week it's going to be Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So if you're an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, this is your horoscope for this week. So immediately at the beginning of the week, I feel like a lot of you are going to be clearing out a lot of things. This would be like Monday through Wednesday, clearing out a lot of extra work. If you had a party over the weekend, for Easter Sunday, again, and you were around maybe a group of family, even though we're supposed to be social distancing from one another, tisk tisk, but a lot of you may be doing that. There is going to be a sense of energy that you want to be like just by yourself. And if you are with your children or other people in your household, and you've been together, for throughout this whole quarantine, you're going to want some alone time, because I feel like a lot of you have had it. Like you've just had it. I also feel like there is a lot of focus in your love life, for those of you that may be in a relationship or, not necessarily in a relationship, but in a friendship or in communication with someone. There's a lot of communication going on this week. Some of you may be planning a trip later this week. It could be just like, out of town, even though a lot of us are not doing any kind of traveling. But some of you may be traveling just to kind of take a ride out, and get out of the house. If you are blessed with a vehicle and you live in a city where you can do that. There is also a lot of focus on money. So a lot of you could be looking towards your bills that are being due, or looking at your funds and where you're at right now. I also feel like there is something going on within people in your household, potentially just, people that are not in your household but are family members. There's this sense of, of like discord and some conversations that are not necessarily healthy that are going on this week. I also feel like you feel like you need to like confront this situation, but Spirit is saying for you to walk away from it. And it's going to, like, by the end of the week, going into the weekend, you're going to feel a lot better if you walk away from it than you keep beating something that is basically not going to get you anywhere. So that's kind of like the energy for this week. That's what I see for a lot of my fire signs out there. If you did like this video, please give a thumbs up, and also be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much, and let's get to the next set of signs. All right, now we're going to get into our water signs, which are Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. So if you're a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, this is your horoscope for this week for my water signs. So this week there is a lot of your family life highlighted, but happiness, good times, cherishing the moment. For a lot of you that maybe have left a job behind, or if you're still working as an essential worker somewhere, you may be contemplating on leaving your job behind because of the stress and even though bills need to be paid, maybe you have a partner that, and this is something that could just be an idea that's being contemplated, not necessarily carried out. But that's the energy that I get. I also feel like a lot of you maybe are not following like a set, especially if you're not working right now. You may not be following like a set schedule for your sleep patterns. So you may be staying up later and sleeping in really late, and it kind of feels good to get out of the norm for a lot of you. But I do see a lot of focus on money, and I see new opportunities. So those of you that are without a job, there could be some, some people that that are still working, even though you're not considered an essential worker, and maybe you got laid off or you couldn't work because of this quarantine, right? So it's very possible that you could see somebody that is working and not necessarily be jealous, but there could be some feelings that come over you, and you're like, God, I remember when I used to, be at this time, I was clocked in at work, and I was sitting there, or I was, stalking, I was doing something. And it's going to be like that same energy that kind of follows you this week, and gives you motivation to move forward. Maybe a lot of you are going to look for another essential type of job out there. There's a lot of them, especially like in the stores right now. That is going to be like a highlight. So maybe it's something like a temporary gig until your job actually reopens again. I also feel like a lot of you are going to be glued to the TV and the news, whether it's on the TV or on your social media, looking forward to like when those checks are coming in from the government, or when we were going to go back to work, like updates. Like I keep hearing like y'all will be looking at that. I also feel like a lot of you are this week in particular are going to be more drawn to your spirituality. And so using tarot cards or using oracle cards or pendulums is not out of the question for a lot of you out there, because curiosity is very piqued. And I feel like this is going to be something that you want to get answers. Maybe you have someone on your mind, person that you know that you haven't confessed your feelings for, like a crush, and that's on your mind. I also see like a lot of you would benefit from meditating this week to kind of alleviate some of this anxiety that you have pinned up inside of you, and get rid of it. And also exercising or doing something with inside your home, keeping yourself busy, and mobility, and keeping yourself very mobile if you can. That's going to be good to get your blood pumping, get yourself kind of feeling like you are doing something rather than just sitting down and not doing anything. And that's kind of like the energy that I see this week for a lot of you out there that are the water signs. So now we're going to get into the next set of horoscopes. All right, next we're going to get into my earth signs, which is going to be Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. So if you're a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, this is for you. This week, there's a lot of swift energy, a lot of swift movement. A lot of you, again, are going to be out and about, even though you're supposed to be staying at home. A lot of you have jobs that you have to work as an essential worker. You're going to be out. A lot of you are going to have to get out of the house this week if you are staying home, quarantine or self-isolating. You're still going to need to go out to get groceries and things like that. So, I feel like a lot of you are going to try to be a little bit more out of the house this week if possible, even if it's just like going outside to your yard, if you're blessed to have a yard and you're not living like in an apartment facility. I get that. I also feel like there's some plans that you have had or you have in the near future for maybe summer that you are contemplating on canceling. This could have been like a trip, maybe like a flight to a vacation to another country. There's a lot of questions whether or not you should cancel it or not. And so I feel like a lot of you are going to be making decisions as couples. If you are in a relationship as a couple, you're going to be making those decisions. A lot of you that are single, though, that are single earth signs out there, are going to be, your mind's going to be focused on love a lot this week. That's the energy that's coming through. So it's like there is a lot of you that maybe braving the social media and braving the dating sites and stepping outside of your comfort zone and going and looking for love on dating sites, or communicating with people online. Because I think even like Facebook now has something, a feature for dating, or they did. I also feel like a lot of you are going to be with very little patience this week. So Spirit is reminding you to be very patient, especially being inside, indoors. It's not easy if you run out of things to do. Try to, stay creative. Go to Pinterest, get some ideas from there. Go to YouTube as well. The thing here that is coming through from Spirit very strongly is that there is big changes coming for all of you earth signs, and it's coming fairly rapidly. So I feel like a lot of you may receive some kind of good communication from other family members, or maybe even good news from your employer, maybe telling you, get ready, because if you've been like laid off, for a couple of weeks now, they may be in the process of kind of like opening up again. It's very possible, that there could be some developments around that. So hold on to that. But that's what I see the energy for all of my earth signs for this week. All right. And last but not least is our air signs, which is Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. So if you are an Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, this week for you in particular, there is a lot of masculine energy around you. There's a lot of you coming in and stepping into your divine masculinity, even if you're a female out there, and listening to this horoscope for my air signs. There's a lot of, you taking on that duality, because we all have that divine feminine and divine masculine within us, and you're being more assertive. I feel like you're being more of the protector of your family or of people that you care about, but at the same time you are questioning a lot of things that you're doing. And also this is kind of like being spurred because there's a lot of other people that are questioning your decisions right now, and it may feel like you're being judged by some people, but I feel like regardless of any chit chat or chatter in the background, you need to tune out that noise, because you're making the right decisions, you're making the right choices in your life right now, and other people may not understand the rhyme and reason behind what you do, but you are making those decisions that need to be made, because other people in your family or friendships are not making these decisions, and so they're like teeter-tottering back and forth, and it's kind of wishy-washy, and it's like you don't want that energy around you. You want to be clear and concise and move on to the next thing. I also feel like there's a lot of emotional fulfillment this week for you, whether it's getting a compliment from someone that you FaceTime, or someone that you met at the grocery store, even though you both were wearing masks. Maybe you were, like kind of like down the aisle, and some of you saw somebody else that you recognized from work. But there is this kind of like reconnecting with a lot of people right now. I also feel like you may feel like your hands are tied and not sure when it comes to your love life. Some of you that are in a relationship could be struggling with, staying in that relationship and being loyal, or letting go of the person that you're with. These are questions that are coming up, and it feels like some of you may be feeling like you're seeing a different side. Like I said before, quarantine is going to either make relationships stronger, or it's going to rock the world and kind of like test it and make you see things that you couldn't see, because a lot of times people are not together 24 hours a day. They're at work and they're not around each other like they are now, if you are an air sign. So there could be some things that kind of irk you if you are in a relationship. If you are not in a relationship, there is a lot of thoughts of love, and there could be some kind of development of feelings, or someone from your past comes back into the present and kind of confesses that they haven't been able to forget about you, and they still are thinking of you and may want to make amends. That is something that's not out of the question. If you are an air sign this week, there could be some communication from the past that is coming forward to the forefront. For a lot of you, there's also a lot of focus on a divine feminine figure, which would be like a mother, a sister, or someone that is like a sister friend, a soul family, basically, that is going to, pop in and maybe check on you and see how you're doing. They're not being nosy, but they're checking on you because on some level, you're like their soul tribe, and they care about you. And so you're going to get like a lot of peace, knowing that you're loved and that people are thinking about you. Not that you needed to stroke your ego or anything, because I don't feel like a lot of us, that are air signs are necessarily in our unhealthy ego. But sometimes it's good to know that, even if you're a strong-willed person and you're doing your own thing, that other people care about you and are checking on your well-being, especially during this time with the coronavirus and this pandemic. So that's the energy that I see this week. That's your forecast for April 13th through the 19th for my air signs. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget that my psychic readings by email and my 12-month yearly outlook readings are on sale right now until further notice. And if you want to book a private reading, go ahead and visit my website. It's listed here on the screen, www.raymondguzman.net. Blessings and love and light. Have an amazing day or night wherever you are in the world. Bye.